How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I'm going to be going over the brand new finest program that's going to be introduced into MLB The Show 19. I'm going to be predicting some of the players that I think that are going to be implemented into the program, as well as I'm going to be showing you guys some of the upcoming schedule, what's expected to come into MLB The Show this upcoming week. We do have a lot of content, and we're going to be included in deciding some of the content as well. As you see from this screenshot, on September 24th, we have a finest fan vote. You get to vote for 30 of this year's finest flashbacks. As you see here, now the screenshot has changed. Thursday, September 24th, there's going to be a live stream from Petco Park revealing the finest fan vote, and I think that this is going to be awesome. I think that we're going to get to vote on some of the players that deserve finest cards in MLB The Show 19, as well as get an opportunity to see a lot of the options that we have. So I think that there's going to be, from years past, we have seen packs in the store. We've seen collection of this program in order to collect stats to unlock the Jose Altuve from MLB The Show 17. In 17, the pack actually guaranteed a diamond finest player. In 18, it did not. They were a little bit cheaper in stubs as they were cut in half, but at the same time did not guarantee a player. I think that they cut the price of these throughout the year. I don't think that they were always $15K. I could be wrong on that, but I could be wrong on a lot of these predictions as well. I wanted to talk a little bit about the previous programs and what we might see change in this year's program. The first year that they implemented this finest program, you had to get this Altuve, this 99 finest Altuve. The only way to get him was to collect the other finest players, not by collecting them into your collection, but by collecting them, completing the different missions that you have with the variety of players, like impact veteran players, breakout players, different guys like that. We see up at the top right underneath the diamond symbol, they do have a little symbol there that represents what type of card it is. So this is an impact veteran Chris Sale. This is a hardware edition Cy Young Max Scherzer. So you had to pitch different, collect different stats with these guys in order to unlock the Altuve. I don't think that this is what we're going to have in MLB The Show 19. This was more of when the game was based on completing missions, completing stat-based missions for certain cards. And now we see more of, trying the cards out, completing a series of moments in order to get these cards. I think that we might see some finest moments. There'll be a program including with that, involving some of the players in that program or in the finest program that have done some pretty remarkable things this season. I think you're going to have to complete a series of stat missions with them, maybe a few games with, let's say, Pete Alonso, where you have to hit a series of home runs with him. Very similar to Moments Extreme, but not as difficult, obviously. But I think that because these cards are so high in overall, they're going to be very good cards to use in MLB The Show 19. I think that they're going to be tougher to get, as well as you're going to be able to buy some packs for these. I think that the voting aspect is going to be awesome to implement. I'm kind of just taking you guys through previous years of finest cards, what they did, and kind of how they went about it. They went with breakout players. They went with players that won silver slugging batting titles. They went with guys that won MVPs. They went with stuff like that. So I think that's also important to keep in mind. And now we get into MLB The Show 18, a little bit of a different program. You were able to collect vouchers and everything to unlock more packs, but those packs did not guarantee finest cards. So I'm curious to see how it's going to be implemented into this year's game. I think that we're going to have a choice pack. Basically, it's going to be finest cards into different tiers, very similar to the Signature Series tier pack. And then you're going to go ahead and purchase a pack. It's going to guarantee at least a base tier player. So you might be able to get a lower overall finest guy, and then with a chance of getting a higher finest player, or if not, the one of the bosses. And basically what I mean by the boss is very similar to the Home Run Derby choice pack, where you have Pete Alonso as the 96 overall card. If you get lucky, you can pull him, but more than likely you're going to get, let's say, that Ronald Acuna, Jock Peterson, guys like that. But to get back on track with these finest cards, I think that a lot of these cards were very good in years past. Some guys were boosted live series cards that weren't necessarily used as much once Inside Edge is completed. As you guys noticed in the previous, or at the beginning of the video, the screenshot did say that there is a final roster update this Friday. Once the regular season is over, Inside Edge will no longer be available. So certain players that maybe are like 85, 86 overall that are playing up to a 90, 91 those guys will no longer be as effective because the inside edge will just completely disappear. We won't have that anymore. I guess for the playoffs, it'll still be going on for a little bit, but we'll see postseason program, finest program, stuff like that coming out. So live series cards will start to tank in price a little bit more. At the same time, you'll see a lot of these boosted live series cards, like this Cy Young winning Blake Snell was a big time card that a lot of people use. Same thing with this Jacob deGrom. A lot of these cards could be very well repeatable, which means a lot of these cards are still performing really well in real life, a lot of these players, and very well could get a signature series card or a finest card upcoming here. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about. While I'm predicting a lot of these players as we get into the predictions part of it, I think Mike Trout is hands down going to be one of the finest players. I think that because he got injured, I think that this gives a perfect opportunity. If he doesn't get a signature card, then this is what you want to give him. Go for it. I think that a lot of people would vote for a Mike Trout, obviously. And just as we get into this, keep in mind that in the previous prediction videos, I have been incorrect on some things. And at the same time, I've been correct on predicting the players, just not how they were released into the game. So if we don't get finest Eugenio Suarez, or we don't get a finest Anthony Rendon because we've had one in years past, but then he ends up getting a signature card, then that could also be a possibility. I know that I've included a lot of third basemen here in a row. We see Eugenio Suarez, Anthony Rendon, Alex Bregman, all back-to-back. I don't think they're going to go with more than one third baseman. They could go with 2 or 3, but I just don't see it. I think that they're going to go with more of a variety of positions, as we noticed in years past. It was probably like one for each position or so. I didn't include all of the finest players. As far as catching goes, I think in 17 we had a Gary Sanchez. In terms of catching this year, I don't know if there's going to be a finest catcher. Maybe Wilson Ramos. I didn't include him in the video, but also these cards have other cards in the game already. I mean, we see the home run derby, Ronald Acuna, as well as Pete Alonso. I mentioned him in the video. Christian Yelich could easily get a signature series card. If not, I think he deserves at least a finest card. I mean, this guy has been an MVP caliber player. I know he also got injured, so it's unfortunate to see some of these guys get hurt later on in the season, but it is a very long season. That's part of it, and I think that they still played enough games to earn themselves a good card in MLB The Show, as well as, earn themselves a reward or an accolade in real life. I think the best reliever in this year in terms of the real season is Kirby Yates. He has the most saves. He has a pretty low ERA as well. And he also has a Player of the Month card already. So I don't know if some of these guys are going to get a finest card. I hope that we get a lot of finest cards. I hope that 30 of them. It gives a lot of options. They might go with a couple different guys at different positions. I think Walker Buehler, hands down, deserves a finest card. I think that this guy might be the most deserving of the pitchers because he is a younger guy. I don't know if he would be able to qualify for a signature card just because he only has a couple seasons pitched in the league. But he does have a Player of the Month card in years past. He has performed extremely well for the Dodgers, kind of taking over the ace pitching role there instead of Kershaw. He's kind of been more dominant than him. Another pitcher that has been with the Dodgers is this Hyunjin Ryu. I think that he has an opportunity to get a finest card as well. Because he has this Tops Now player, I think diminishes his chances a little bit, but I definitely think that he could be the Cy Young for this year and easily could have a 95 plus 96 card, finest player like that. Max Scherzer is a guy that he's had a finest card in every year. He's been one of the best pitchers in the league every single season since going over to the Nationals. He was dominant with the Tigers as well. Dominant pitcher, hands down. Just same thing with Garrett Cole. Kind of broke out this year with the Astros a little bit. And a couple of different Astros pitchers could get one. Easily Zach Greinke, 17-5. Justin Verlander could also get one. He's right around the same, 18-5, something like that. I know I don't like to base my stats off just wins for pitchers, but if they get the run support, they're deserving of cards. He already has a signature card, so I don't think he'll get a finest, but I figured I would include him in the video. DJ LeMahieu for Yankees fans, I think that this card could easily get a finest card. I know he slowed down throughout the year, but he does have a Player of the Month already. That might hurt his chances. Pete Alonso with 50 plus home runs as a rookie. He already has 2 diamonds in the game with souped up power. I don't really know what you would do to make this card a finest. He already has a 96 card in the game, but he deserves a finest card, and I think people would vote for him if he was on the ballot. And lastly, Ketel Marte, I think, is another great option if he had boosted stats versus righties. I know he has a lot of doubles this year. I know he has a good amount of home runs as well. Very productive for the Diamondbacks. But to wrap it up, just so let's go over the schedule upcoming once again. We have the voting in the next couple of days, more signature teams this upcoming Friday, the roster update, as well as the 8th inning program to keep a lookout for. So postseason events are upcoming as well. But I just wanted to get this video out there for you guys, the finest program prediction, what is kind of what's happened in the past and what's kind of expected to happen in the next couple of days. But thank you guys so much for watching. That's going to do it for this video. I'm College Lefty, and peace out, guys. Have a great day.